will join in between, I guess, because they will take for 2 to 3 minutes more.
Okay, so shall we start, Rajesh, or you want
Yeah,
all to
absolutely.
join?
Okay, I can
They will
start.
be
And
joining.
how many have
Let me,
joined just now?
68. 68 are
Okay,
there.
great.
Okay, so
So, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
introduce you first, and then
Okay.
you can go ahead. Okay, so we are privileged to have Mr. Rajesh Joshi. He's a school friend of mine. We were together in the school, so that's my privilege to introduce him and to have you as a guest today. And you can share your enriched experience. The students are also enthusiastic about to interact with you. So, Mr. Rajesh Joshi is ex DGM from Volvo Eicher and ex AGM Tata Technologies, Tata Motor. He has vast experience of 24 years experience in commercial vehicle design and project management. He has done B in mechanical engineering from SGSITS Indore in 1991, and later he has done MTech from IIT Delhi in thermal engineering in 1993. Presently, he is running his own company for last 5 years with head office in Indore and Pune. Rajesh Joshi Engineering was founded in 2017, and they are working under two verticals: research to design and raise your level. Research to design focuses on new product development and provides services from concept to launch under one platform. Main services offered are market research, customer service, survey, benchmarking, engineering design, project execution, testing, indoor and outdoor, etc. Raise your level is mainly for offering consulting, advisory, and training related services to automobile, construction, and investment bankers. The unique combination of their highly experienced associates with engineering experts and partners with state-of-art test and development facilities ensures customers can develop and validate their vehicle at one place. So who else can explain better about automobile scrappage policy? Rajesh, we are highly privileged to have you with us. And it's really honor for me to welcome you. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks, Neelam, for nice introduction. And good morning to all the students. And if any faculty member is available, good morning and wishes to them also. And first of all, wishing you all Happy New Year, and to you and to your family. And I have actually compiled the slides in such a way that you get the background of the scrappage policy. My intention is not to give something which is readily available in media or in internet or something like that. The whole intention of this knowledge sharing is basically to give you some the inside story, like how it is actually arrived at this stage and what are the various benefits to the economy. So you may ask questions in between also, and afterwards also. Neelam madam is having my contact details, so don't hesitate in asking questions in between also and afterwards also. I'll be happy to try. I will be happy to give answers whatever I know about automobile industry point of view. So with this, I just want to start this whole topic of automobile scrappage policy. Madam, can I start or anything else?
Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And,
Thank you, madam.
Students
So,
will be posting questions in the chat box, and Divyanshu, Animesh, and one from A section can take the charge, Rajshri or anyone, to
Sure,
address
ma'am.
those questions with the guests today. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
okay. So let's start this whole topic related to automobile scrappage policy. You must be knowing that, auto industry contributes to 7.5% of the GDP, and almost half of the GDP from manufacturing sector comes from auto industry. So that way, automobile industry, any initiative taken or anything related to their benefit or their advantage directly contributes to almost half of the manufacturing sector. So this initiative is very, very important. It is also sometimes called win-win initiative. And one win is basically it is related to reducing the pollution. And second win is basically, it will improve the demand of new vehicles. So that way, this our minister, Gadkari also call it as win-win policy. And because of these two reasons, it is called win-win policy. Now I'll just give you some backgrounds. So just take it on the top of it. Don't go in too much of details. I'm just giving this some slides so that you will get the background, like how scrappage policy was arrived. Like if you see in 1950 or something like that, hardly any vehicles were there in India. And in 1990, the roads were almost having moderate traffic or, just manageable type of situation. And as of today, if you see, it's hardly any space. There is no parking area. You know better. Whenever you go on roads, that there is a chaos and there are serious problems as far as traffic is concerned. So if you see the data, there are almost 1 crore vehicles which are older than 15 to 20 years. So if you see, their pollution also is almost 10 to 12 times more as compared to new vehicles. I will explain you why it is more and all these things. And if you see the number of vehicles per thousand in 2001 was almost 53, which has actually increased drastically to 167. So there are actually two problems we are facing. To improve the economy, vehicles will increase. There is no doubt on that. But at the same time, the pollution is increasing, which is a serious concern as of today. So you must be knowing, you are from Delhi, so I don't have to explain anything. Delhi is topmost, not in India, but almost in world from pollution point of view. And you know the background. I will not spend any time on that, but I will just give one data that auto industry is giving 40% contribution to pollution. So there are various other factors also responsible for pollution, but I will focus in auto industry, and 40% is approximately the damage which auto industry is doing for the pollution. So now the very basic question comes, like, what is pollution? I will not go in too much of chemistry, but just a simple thing that, when you mix petrol and air or diesel plus air, it actually generates several chemicals or gases and all. So there are something which is harmless, which is like water plus SO2 plus CO2 and all this. CO2 is very moderate. I will not say harmless, but okay, for time being, let's call it harmless. But there are certain things which are surely very, very harmful to our health and to environment. What are these things? These are basically hydrocarbons, NOx, CO, and to some extent CO2. So these three, just remember for the next slide so that we'll go in details of this. Like first one is the hydrocarbon which comes out of automobiles, and how actually it is damaging is, as of today, the cancer disease is actually spreading like anything, asthma and smog or done other things. So these hydrocarbons are responsible for that particular thing. And how it is reduced is by putting one part which is called as diesel oxidation catalyst, which is called DOC. And in petrol, it is called catalytic converter. And there are certain chemicals which are in brick forms, and once the chemical reaction between hydrocarbons and CO happens with this particular chemical which is there inside DOC, then clean air is actually released. This clean air, I have put it just for the understanding purpose. It is not 100% clean, but it is 90% towards the clean, and drastic reduction happens in this particular part which is called DOC. Now there is another culprit which is NOx. And there are a number of actually problems with respect to NOx. There is acid rain which is happening because of NOx. Then there is a smog. Smog is nothing but smoke plus fog. And Delhi, you know better that fog is always every day. It is happening in winter season and many other seasons. So when this smog combines with the NOx which is coming out of the automobiles, then it is called smog. And then there are certain pollutants, like when polythene and this type of things get burned up, then VOCs are actually getting emitted. And those combines, and it causes very serious damage to lungs, vegetations, and crops. Acid rains, that because of the NOx also, this acid rains are happening. Global warming is surely one of the reason behind global warming is NOx. It also caused the visibility problems. The NOx is actually one of the culprit for causing visibility problem. And also it creates problems by generating some particulate matters which are very, very small, and it directly penetrates into lungs, and it causes various diseases like bronchitis, respiratory disease, etc. Another serious concern is this NOx, and it generates a clean air. And exhaust gas recirculation, which is generally used for smaller vehicles like cars and light trucks. In this, a very simple concept is used. The exhaust gas is again put into engine. So what happens is the temperature inside engine goes down, and in the process, NOx is generated directly proportion to the temperature. So these are the two actually ways by which NOx is reduced. So just remember these two names like EGR and SCR. And there is a third thing which is called basically the DPF, which is diesel particulate matter. And the role of this particular part is basically it reduces the particulate matters. Particulate matters are, you can imagine it is like a dust which is 20 times less in size as compared to our human hair. So it's very, very small particle directly goes inside the lungs, and it creates several problems. And this particular part is similar to air filter, which is, you must be knowing about cars air filter, trucks air filter. So it's similar, but it is at the next level, advanced stage. A lot of things are put inside this so that they capture this small particles, and it doesn't come out of the automobile, so that it doesn't harm the human beings. So if you see in totality what is happening for the automobile improvement for reducing the pollution, these three parts are put together just after the engine and just before, the exhaust gases are emitted to the atmosphere. Before that, they are passed to these three parts: the SCR, the DPF, and the other one, which is the filter, which is DOC, which I explained. And by doing all these things, just see that it is almost, NOx is reduced by almost 68%, and particulate matters are reduced by almost 82%. There are various data. I'm not going in too much of detail, but just see that these parts are actually magical parts, and it reduces the pollution drastically. Now, some background, like if you see chronological order, there was no norm of pollution just before 2000. It was just some data which government was circulating that, this much you have to meet in commercial vehicle. The values you can see in the chart on the bottom right corner. And over the time it is improving. And as I explained, that the latest norm which is introduced in 2020 April is BS6 norm. So it is, B is for Bharat and S is for Bharat stage. So Bharat stage 6 is the advanced norm, the latest norm which is introduced now. Now, all the new trucks which are with true new trucks, cars, or whatever you name it in India, automobiles, they are with BS6. So the BS6 is so clean, you can imagine that particulate matter emitted by a old vehicle and particulate matter emitted by a new vehicle, there is a gap of almost 30 times. So what it means is the old vehicle emits 30 times the particulate matter and 9 times the NOx. So this is the simple understanding of this pollution, that even if you are running one new truck, then it is 30 times less harmful as compared as far as PM particulate matter is concerned, and 9 times less harmful as far as NOx is concerned. And you can imagine this old vehicle, when I'm telling again, I'm repeating this data, that there are 1 crore such vehicles running inside India, which are with this 30 times pollutions. So if you average it out, it comes to around 10 to 12 times the harmfulness of the old vehicles. And the other side, if you see, the new vehicles are 10 to 12 times cleaner. Now, this slide actually gives some background, like because of these issues which I was explaining about the pollution, government actually was forced to, go to BS6 in a very short duration, which is 2 years. 2 years, when I say, it is between BS4, which is the just before BS6, the BS4 was there. And it was expected, like if you see the data of the whole world, like United States, Canada, and China, Australia, or any country, the general understanding was you BS4, then BS5, and then BS6. But in India, we were having so serious problem, and government is also very aggressive. So they have removed the BS5. And in the process, what has happened is within 2 years span, we have actually implemented almost BS4 to BS6. Europe has taken 9 years and USA has taken 10 years time. Both these countries are almost top countries as far as emission is concerned. So India that way has actually become leader in terms of pollution as far as the emission is concerned. Now, if you see, every good thing comes with some issues or some problems. This BS6 is very good, but it actually creates a problem in terms of the cost. I have actually put some data like in heavy vehicles, which are the high end of the automobiles, almost 1.75 to 2 lakhs cost increase is there. LCV, it is almost 1 lakh. And cars, like petrol cars, actually the damage to the environment is very less. So it is hardly 12,000. And in diesel car, it is 1.2 lakh. And you must have seen the news that, Maruti has stopped diesel cars and all. So this is one of the reason, because the cost increase is so high that, they are not able to sell with this type of cost increase. It is very good that pollution is reducing. But, the other side of other picture is that, sale get impacted because the cost is increasing. I'm not going in so many details because there are so many parts other than these three major parts which are changing, and they are also causing the cost increase. Now I'm coming to another sort of a story or another insight of this whole thing, why the scrappage policy has come. One I have explained is the pollution. The other side is, if you see the vehicle sales data, automobile is always called as a sinusoidal curve, like it goes always up and down after some particular cycles. So I will just, you can see the graph which is shown in this slide, and it shows that, the downs are coming. 2008 major economic slowdown all across globe was there. So around that time also slowdown was there. Then election time, because of, that there is no possibility of continuing infrastructure and so many initiative by government because of the election commission's 6 months rule and all these things. That time also, every time at the time of election, the problem comes on the initiatives on infrastructure, etc. So that time also the vehicle sales goes down. Now I'm coming to the latest last 2-3 year story, which is what this is the major reason of coming to vehicle scrappage policy. First reason, as I explained, is the BS6, which has actually drastically caused the increase in the cost. Second reason is basically, you must be knowing that accident in India are almost number one in the world. And because of that, government was forced to take decisions on the safety norms. Just 3-4 days back or last week only, Mr. Gadkari has taken decision that all the airbags, all seats, that becomes must in all the cars. Basically, this airbag was considered as for the luxury cars or for premium cars where, people can bear the cost of the airbags. But now this will be must. And there is a concept called 5-star rating. What does it mean is that when there is an accident, the passengers or the driver doesn't get impacted too much as far as the life is concerned. Only minor injury will be there. So then 5-star cars, the life will be saved, that confirmation or that assurance comes. But if it is 4-star, then slightly less, and like this 1-star, 2-star, and all these ratings are there. So now 5-star cars are coming into the Indian market also, which was actually very popular in Europe and USA and all the advanced countries. So what does it mean? All these things actually cost, and BS6, as I explained, is the cost. Then safety norms related, the cost has come. So the price has gone so high that, customers are finding themselves difficult in purchasing the vehicles. Second thing which you must be knowing, in the media, you must have seen that petrol and diesel price are continuously increasing. And that is causing a very big damage to the operating cost of the persons who are driving these commercial vehicles and passenger cars. So obviously this is also demotivation for people to purchase, because they delay the decisions, or the commercial vehicle people are also there. 50% actually profit comes from this by reducing the operating margins, by operating cost. And if operating cost is going high, it is directly impacting their margins. Now, I want to explain one more thing which has actually caused damage to the operating cost. There was one more regulation which government has brought inside the automobile industry, which is basically they have revised the load carrying norms. What does it mean is that 10-tonner vehicles now can carry 12 tons. So I will not go in too much detail, but just imagine if there are 100 trucks in India, the same work or same loading can be done on 80 trucks. So what does it mean is 20 trucks are empty now, because 80 trucks have become so efficient that they can do the job of 100 trucks. So now what is happening? The person who was supposed to purchase a new vehicle, he's using those empty trucks. So the whole process, what has happened is the vehicle purchase is actually not happening. And third and most important reason, if you see pre-COVID, I'm not talking about COVID, because COVID, you must be aware that it has caused the economic slowdown. There was bankruptcy of ILFS, which is Infrastructure Leasing and Financial Services. That was the starting point of economic slowdown. And I will not repeat those stories of Nirav Modi and Malaya and so many other people. And those stories or those background is there, which is called, government has become extremely careful. You can say that दूध का जला छाछ को भी फूक फूक के पीता है, something like that situation. And the truck owners which are purchasing the trucks, they are not getting the loan so easily. There are so many process, so many documentation, so many guarantors, and all those things have come in picture. So the person is not getting so easily the loans. That is also one of the reason why the vehicle sales are actually getting impacted. I will not go in too much of COVID reasons, because COVID, you are fully aware that lockdown was there. So bus sale has actually almost become 90% down, because schools were closed, college were closed. So, and social distancing norm has come. So buses sales have almost gone zero. You can say only very bare minimum, whatever intercity and all those things were happening. And one more small thing, but is very important, that semiconductor shortage has happened in the whole automobile industry, which has caused a serious problem in the sales even after COVID. So this is the background of the problems which auto industry was facing. So I will just summarize whatever I have explained, because there were so many things and you may get confused. So just to keep the thing simple, like I explained that vehicle population is increasing over the time, which is causing the pollution. At the same time, road accident, India is number one. So because of these three things, government was forced to take decision of BS6 and the safety regulation for the reducing the road accidents. And this, what has happened is, it has happened so fast within very short duration of 2 years, that there was a heavy investment by auto industry. As I explained, the cost of DOC, SCR, EGR, these are not so simple just in terms of cost, 1 lakh or 2 lakh. They require a lot of a different factory, different set of collaboration, joint venture with European companies, and very expert type of people are required for developing this type of part. So heavy investment has gone inside the auto industry with so many problems. And over and above, vehicle prices increased and COVID has come in between. So all these things actually caused an economical crisis in terms, and auto industry was under pressure like anything. Auto sales have impacted, as I explained. So all these things combined together, actually auto industry was constantly forcing or requesting government to introduce this vehicle scrappage policy because of its advantage, which I will explain. It's a very proven concept which was already introduced by advanced countries like USA, Europe, China, Canada in 2009 after 2008 crisis. So it's a proven concept which is known to everybody. But because of some reason, government decision actually get delayed. But somehow Mr. Gadkari is very aggressive, or he takes decisions. So somehow this has happened this time. It was although it has happened, but it's happening after delay of 3 years, and the demand was going on for last 10 years. So there are some sanctions of 26 such centers, scrappage centers will be set across India. And as you know, nowadays PPP concept is there, private players are also allowed, so many concepts are there. I'm not going in too much of details of those. So now I will come to the scrappage policy, because this was the background, and it is not just scrapping the vehicles, but there was a pollution involved, there was vehicle sales involved. So this is a very welcome step as far as auto industry is concerned. As I explained you, there are almost like 1 crore vehicles. You can see that LMV light motor vehicles are 34 years, greater than 15 years, and 20 year is almost 51 lakhs. And heavy commercial vehicles is 17 lakhs. And all this total together is a huge number, which is 1 crore. So the decision taken is that there are two new entities will be coming in picture. One is called Fitness Test and Certificate Center, which is called Automatic Fitness Center. It will be totally online, plus so many automatic machines will be there. The vehicle will be going inside and it will give the report. And as per the report, if it is okay, then fine, it is called fit vehicle, or otherwise it is called unfit vehicle. For the unfit vehicle, it will automatically get deregistered and it will be sent to the scrappage centers. And it will be, certificate, it will be written end of life of vehicle. So that means it can be scrapped now. And for fitness, the 2 attempts will be given. And if it is failing in one attempt, then the customer will be given another choice that he can upgrade the vehicle, and then suppose with some repairs or something, it can be passed. And yes, he will be given two. Uh, he will be given two sort of attempts. And there is one sort of disincentive, I will say, that even if he is given second attempt, the road tax will be extra, and the certificate cost also will be extra. So what actually the hidden story behind this is that government will discourage anybody who's actually trying to keep the vehicle with this 15 to 20-year-old. He may continue by putting extra cost by doing a lot of repairs, etc. But this is what I want to explain, that there will be a lot of demotivation introduced for old vehicles. Obviously, because everything starts with pollution, so electric vehicles, CNG vehicles, ethanol, biogas vehicles, so all these things will be exempted. There is no concern about this vehicle, although they're hardly 1% of the total population. But in future, it will be increasing, but there will not be any scrappage policy related to this. And another thing I want to highlight is there is very good single window online system launched by this DPIIT and NSWS. So this is also one good initiative, that you don't have to, in RTO, whenever person is going several documentation and complex procedure. So now this is very simple, as explained by Mr. Gadkari, that it will be just online. You just fill online all the things and automatically things will happen with very less concern to the customers. Now, as far as the time targets are concerned, is already declared in 1st October, rules of the scrappage center, etc. The next big thing which is going to happen after 2-3 months is 1st April 2022, which is government vehicles will be the first target. And central government, because Gadkari is from central government, he has told that even without fitness certificate, something which is 15 or 20 year will be scrapped. But it is left to the state government, because there are other government may take some different decisions. They are not from the BJP government and all this. So it is left to them, that they can take a fitness testing certificate, and then they can take a call. So this will happen by 1st April, which is just within next 2 months. Now, another focus area by 2023 1st April is basically the heavy commercial vehicle, because you must be knowing that economy is directly related to heavy commercial vehicles. So 1st April 2023 fitness certificate testing of heavy commercial vehicle will start. And for other categories, it will be in 2024 1st June. The rules will be actually set and the scrappage will start. There are several benefits. Some of them I have already explained, but I just summarize that, the FE, the fuel consumption will increase, because as I explained, heavy investment has gone, very good technology has come. So new vehicles are always good as far as the maintenance is concerned, very less repair is concerned. Then promotion of new technology is there, and the better mileage is there. And this is indirectly related to, you must be knowing that our oil import is very, very high. And if 10 times fuel efficiency is increased, then, the oil import also will directly reduce. So this is directly related to the economy as such. Second thing, as I explained, is the pollution. It will reduce drastically. Now, another thing which is going to happen in this is, we are talking about some two new things, which is automatic fitness center and scrappage center. As of today, it is almost like 7 to 8, but it will increase drastically, and it will generate employment of 35,000 people all across. And there will be investment also. 10,000 crore is expected investment for these two things. Because Indian investors are actually global investors are also coming, because they're already doing it for last 10-15 years, this type of thing. So investment also will come in India. Now, the most important thing which auto industry was interested was the demand of vehicles, and their turnover will increase almost double in next 5 years, from 4.5 lakhs to 10 lakhs. Similarly, the export component also will increase 1.45 lakhs to 3 lakh crores. These are all forecast or something like that. And why it will increase is basically it is expected that even some of the people from SAARC countries and advanced country, because our scrappage center will be cost competitive, so they will use our centers also. So that is one. Second is the cost of the vehicle is going down. So and you know, the technology wise, within 2 years we have come to BS6. So our vehicles have become competitive as compared to advanced countries. So cost is less, technology is better. So export also we will be actually expecting that it will improve. As I explained, the main focus area which we all are worried, like if you see like in economy, 8 lakh is the, as of 8 lakh crore is the oil import, which will forecasted by 18 lakhs if scrappage policy is not done in next 5 years. So this will drastically reduce because of this scrappage policy. Now, there is another indirect benefit, you know, which is not seen as such, that when you scrap a vehicle, aluminum, copper, steel, all these things will be, you know, taken out from the scrapped vehicle, and then it will be recycled and sent to for the use of the new vehicles. So this also will be indirect benefit. And presently, many of these things like oil, aluminum, copper, and sometimes steel also. You have seen that recently steel prices have gone high because of China problem. They have created a problem. They have stopped the steel production. So steel also we are facing problem, although we have good supply inside also. So all this thing will actually indirectly improve the situation as far as the import bills are concerned. Safety, it's a very simple common sense. All vehicles are and defective vehicles are actually problematic for the safety point of view. Now many vehicles are coming with 5-star rating, airbags, etc. So safety is definitely going to improve with this policy. Another thing is scrappage was not organized as of today. Some few people were doing it here and there, but now it will become organized because it is pushed by government. And cost of the vehicle also will go down because many of the basic raw material of making the automobile will be available easily. So it is expected that 30 to 40% cost will go down. And all these things like which are used in automobile like steel, rubber, plastic, aluminum, and electronic material will be used actually later for making the new vehicles. I want to highlight here one more thing that, you know, as of today, even today, semiconductor is a major issue. And maybe directly it will not be recovered from the scrappage vehicles, but some of the ingredients of the semiconductor can be recovered, and it will help actually that way also, not only in cost, but in supply chain also. Now there are certain things which is purely government related, like when you scrap a vehicle, government will give some 4 to 6% price of the old vehicle. Like even if today also you are selling a very old vehicle, then some price you will come in second hand market. So that way, and if it is 15 to 20 years, then hardly anything is left in that vehicle. But here it is an incentive that 4 to 6% will be coming. And government has given an advisory to all the automobile companies that, you know, please give this 5% extra when they are purchasing a new vehicle by showing the certificate of the scrap. And also they are giving sort of zero registration fees by showing the scrappage certificate. So overall, roughly, if you can say that 10% reduction in price is expected when you purchase a new vehicle by showing the scrappage certificate. So price also, there is some good motivation for purchasing a new vehicle. Now, this will also improve GST. Almost 40,000 crore is expected that, you know, GST will improve because of the two new centers, scrappage center and testing center, fitness center will come. A lot of employment generation, a lot of business will happen. You can imagine this will actually create a total new industry like auto industry in next 5 years, 10 years time. So government is also reviewing GST reduction for automobiles because of this reason. The decision is not final, it is under review. As I explained, the road tax and all these things which are in RTO, this thing, they have actually recommending 25% reduction in passenger vehicles and 15% in commercial vehicles. So road tax also will reduce. Another thing is government has taken a very clear decision that anything which is 15 years, they will be scrapping even without fitness certificate. This is central government. So this will happen within next 2 months time. So you can imagine whatever government vehicles are there inside India, it will get scrapped. Now, another government, there are not a lot of other agencies like State Transport Corporation, Public Transport Corporations, Municipal Corporation, Panchayat, autonomous bodies with state and central government. Those people also will follow the different routes based on their understanding of fitness certificate and all. And a lot of advantages there in this area also. The scrappage will also happen because it is just next 2 months the things will start. Then there are certain disadvantage also, because it is actually it is not disadvantage, it is disincentive, I will say, that government doesn't want to keep the old vehicle, or they want to reduce the old vehicle, so they have actually put heavy penalties in forms of different things. One is the RTO tax. So RTO tax, even if your old vehicle has cleared the fitness test, then also the RTO test will be higher, and it will be 8 times higher for PV and 20 times for CV. So CV, they surely want to reduce the CV, old CVs, because heavy trucks are running continuously on highways, and they are directly related to safety, pollution. So commercial vehicle and also auto industry want, the CV was major impacted in the whole economy. So they want actually CV to be removed, old CVs like truck and buses, so that new people will purchase. And there is a concept of green tax, which is different in different states, but roughly it is even after 8 years, 9 years time, the tax will increase on the road, tax will increase for the older vehicle. But obviously the exemptions will be there for green fuels like electric vehicles, CNG. Just recently flex fuel has come, you must be knowing that government has actually asked all the automobile manufacturer to allow ethanol blending, and running the vehicle on both the things, ethanol, petrol, and all this. So this will be called as green fuel, and if people are accepting this, then all these problems or disincentives will not come in that. And increase in renewable charges will be there for fitness certification. So whatever charges as of today, also fitness certificate is must for commercial vehicle. So suppose whatever charges are there, they are going to increase for commercial vehicles and passenger vehicles. Now there are certain exceptions, like suppose some person is there with the old vehicle, he start upgrading to from diesel vehicle to electric vehicle or something like that, then this is not clear, or this is a disadvantage that some people can do this, although it is very costly affair and regulation wise it's very difficult, but it is not impossible. So this is one disadvantage, that some people can do this and they can bypass the rules and all this. Another thing is some exemptions were given, like vintage car, this cannot be destroyed because of some different reasons. Farm and agriculture equipment such as tractors, trailers, and harvesters. So these are also exempted. So this category of vehicle will remain. Now, the another issue or disadvantage is there is a possibility of conflict between state and center, because a lot of discounts were declared, advisory were given, who will bear the cost. Auto industry also, some people have done, like Maruti has done, I know Tata Motor has done, but some people are having hesitation because 5% discount is a load for them as far as the margins are concerned. So there is a possibility of conflict. This is also an open area. Another disadvantage of this is basically there is no infrastructure available as of today. As a policy, it is done, but as of today, only 7 scrappage centers are available. Fitness centers are also not there. So one good thing is people are coming, many people have come forward, but as of today, it is not there. Overall, if you see that 30% sales increase is expected in the overall automobiles. It is different for different categories, like 4 vehicles, it is 24%, commercial vehicle 36%, 3-wheeler it can be 59%, 2-wheeler can be 44 and all. And if you see the scrappage centers, already Mahindra was operating for last 3 years, and they will be increasing this for next 6 cities and further. And Maruti has gone for a tie-up with Toyotsu, and they're already having a scrappage center inaugurated in December or October somewhere, and they're planning 24,000 vehicles per year scrappage. Tata is having a MOU with Maharashtra government, and they're also having 35,000 capacity of scrappage, and there is a target of 70 scrappage centers in next 5 years and 500 in phase 2. So this is a background of overall scrappage policy. And if anything I have forgotten, or if anything further you want, I can answer that. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rajesh, for sharing such extensive information. And you started with basics about what exactly is the cause, why was it required, what measures have been taken, how is it going to benefit, and then challenges also. So I would like to ask students if they have anything to ask, or any questions of yours, anyone? Anyone of you want to ask anything?
Sir, I want to ask something.
Yeah,
Yes,
Harshal,
yes.
go ahead, go ahead.
Sir, if any of us want to start a startup regarding to this, sir, how can we enter in this industry?
See, startup is the rules will be exactly same. This you take it as a news, or you can take it as a sort of a knowledge that this type of industry is definitely going to increase. As far as startup, what you're asking, your specific question is, it is the rules are actually exactly same as far as the other startups are concerned. And Atmanirbhar Bharat and all these things schemes are there. There is a website of government where you can actually register it as a startup. And only thing what I can tell you is there are several rules. Actually, I will not go in details because it will take a lot of times. But it's very simple that you have to be that is called partnership basis registration at company level. Second is basically you are having some basic knowledge and basic understanding of the whole thing. These are the 2-3 things, and afterwards you can actually start. Nowadays it is that is called Udyog Aadhar or something, which takes hardly 10 minutes as of today. So those 3-4 formalities are there and you can start your startup. But the major concern is not that formalities have become drastically reduced and all these things. Second thing comes is basically you will be needing funding, you will be needing the other things which will come all the time. So there actually real problem or real work starts. So there you will be requiring a lot of advice or a lot of help from other people. So I think if you are really interested, then first of all you register it and start the things. And then probably I will suggest you some of the people who are involved in this business who can help you as an advisor and all. You can contact me later because it's a very involved discussion. It's a very big project in itself. Yes, you are right that this is a very big opportunity, but at the same time, I will say this is the best time. If you cannot do it today, then you cannot do it anytime other than today, because the government is pushing. There is an opportunity. I told you that only 7 centers are there, and whole 1 crore vehicles need to be scrapped over the time. How much time is not clear. It can be done in 20 years. It can be done in 2 years. So it depends like how aggressively startups and other people are coming. So it's a big opportunity, absolutely no doubt. But at the same time, it is not also simple. I will not discourage you because it requires a lot of investment, a lot of expertise, and a lot of things are required which you need to actually get trained into the automobile understanding, because there are certain hazardous material also there which cause problem if it is not done properly. There are certain regulations are also there which you need to understand and follow, otherwise there will be problem. So this is in brief I can explain you. If anything else you want in detail, you can take my contacts from madam, and then we can discuss further on this. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, Angad.
Sir, I just want to ask you one thing. Sir, let's say if there is a vehicle which was bought long time back by the other state, and since we are now residing in the other state, so at the same time, registration, the vehicle is of, let's say if I bought a vehicle from Chandigarh, and there has a registration of that, but now since it has become more than 15 years old, and in that case, sir, if we get an extension, so do we have to like sell it over there, or we can sell it here?
There are two parts. One part is when you bring from one state to another, you have to, first thing is you have to take no objection certificate. That is first thing. And then within certain time, I don't remember, 15 days, 3 months or something, you have to actually pay the road tax of new state. So if you have done that, then the old state doesn't remain in your record book. The new state will be actually coming in your record book. If you're done without this process, then it is called illegal. So first and foremost thing is you cannot keep a outside state vehicle for more than certain time. I personally remember not more than 3 months. It can be less, 15 months, 1 month or 3 months. It is not more than 3 months for sure. So if you are actually because many people travel all across India, so there is a window of 3 months, 4 months is given. Within that, they have to travel and come back to their original state. If they are going beyond 3 months, then they have to register and pay the road tax or Delta road tax. What I mean by Delta road tax is, suppose you are from Chandigarh and you are traveling to Chennai or Tamil Nadu. So suppose whatever is the difference in road tax, that you have to pay and get registered there in the new state within 3 months. So as soon as you get registered in the new state, then it's very simple. You can directly approach that NIIT website which they have launched and fill your details, and automatically they will give some appointment dates, etc. and the process, and there you can approach their scrappage center for scrapping the vehicle. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. But sir, let's say that if you have already got your extension for 5 more years and still you are allowed to drive in the other state, but like in that case, sir, will you be given permission if, let's say, if you get caught by the RTO or a daily traffic
You are
police?
saying that in the new state, you have actually paid the road tax, Delta road tax, and you are registered in the new state, correct?
But sir, like I was just saying this only, like your vehicle has got old now and you have got registration, but that vehicle belongs to Chandigarh and I'm a resident of Delhi and I'm driving here. So in that case, will I be allowed, like, since I've already got the extension from
No,
Chandigarh?
see, it is not correct. Actually, if you are residing in Delhi and if you are having a vehicle of Chandigarh, the process is you have missed the step of registering in Delhi. It has to be done in 3 months as a rule, because in India actually this type of things are happening very frequently. But as a rule, this is the rule which I am explaining, that first is the NOC you have to take, and no objection certificate from Chandigarh, then pay the Delta road tax or get registered in Delhi. That is the process which everybody has to do, which is migrating from one state to another. Then with this thing, but if your case is slightly not following the process, so it's very difficult for me to answer, because as soon as you will approach the scrappage center, they will ask you to first pay the road tax, Delta road tax, then they will ask for the penalty of the road tax also, most probably, which will be very heavy penalty, because I don't know how long you are staying in Delhi with this vehicle, which belongs to Chandigarh. So it's a complicated matter. I think you can discuss with some expert, because I'm not sure. It involves some penalty as per my understanding.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir. Animesh this side. Sir, my question is that we spoke at length about the scrappage policy, which focuses upon reducing the pollution from the vehicle perspective, right? Sir, if I'm not wrong, even the batteries that are the lead acid batteries, which are primarily used in the vehicles, India is lacking in depth the infrastructure to extract the used metal in the batteries. So don't you think that batteries, if we like develop an infrastructure towards battery metal extraction, that will be of a great help towards reducing the pollution, the ultimate motive for which scrappage policy was also introduced?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, yes,
Sir,
yes. Yes, we
yes,
can.
sir.
Okay. See, battery as such is not in the purview of this scrappage policy as such, because it is more focused on diesel and petrol vehicle. Yes, I agree with you. If you actually scrap the battery and do it properly, recycle it and all these things, there are certain advantages. But because if as of today, if you see, the electric vehicles are hardly less than 1% of the total population. And they are not giving any pollution or anything. So this was not in focus of government as of today. It will take further 20-30 years for that to happen. Numbers are very less. So, and if you see, there are two types of pollution. One is the automobile pollution, which is zero in electrical vehicles. Noise is zero, pollution is zero in electric vehicle. What you're talking is, as a battery, suppose electric vehicle become 20 year and it is getting scrapped, then you can extract some of the things from there. Yes, it can be done, but the numbers are less, and the damage to the overall in numbers in India as such, or in globe also, if you see, it is not that much. So it can be done, but the impact will be relatively less. That's what I can say. But yes, there is a possibility there also.
Okay, sir.
Divyanshu wanted to
Excuse
ask.
me, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So my question is that it was mentioned that 5% discount would be given on purchase of new vehicles against this scrappage certificate, right? So is there any list available of these equipment manufacturers, means where it is applicable or who are accepting this, or 100% of the manufacturers have agreed upon this?
I'm also like you, because this is coming through various news channels and various websites you can check from the manufacturer. So this is it's just started. The process has just started because there is no scrappage center, etc.
Right.
So I remember Maruti has agreed, Tata Motor has agreed. These two actually I know because I saw in media news. But slowly many people will start agreeing, and government also is interacting with many OEMs and all, and they are requesting all the people. So you have to check the media news and their websites. As of today, not many people have agreed because the process has just started.
Right.
All the time, actually, the focus was basically to follow up with the government so that they will implement the policy. And now, as it has happened, now the next stage is basically the giving discounts and further. Even I personally feel OEMs can give even more than 5%. This is the advisory from government. They have told 5% to all the people. But the way actually the benefits are visible, as I explained, that raw material will be extracted from the old vehicle,
Right.
then the new vehicles numbers are increasing. So keeping all these things, I feel that even 5% is less, even more discount can be given. So that way, I feel that the more advantages will be there.
Right. Sure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So my question is, considering the fact that government has set a norms to pass the fitness test, right? So can you give us a light on what would be the impact of rural truck driver whose switching cost might be high to adhere this policy? Moreover, it could impact the supply chain also.
Your voice is actually coming very low. Let me actually do something. 1 minute. Can you repeat your question, please?
Raja, you can put in chat box if you are not able to.
Am I audible, sir? Now?
Yeah, you are audible. Just actually increase your sort of audio
Actually,
level so that I can hear.
He's not well. He's sharing.
Sir, now it is right.
Yes. Please continue.
Sir, I was asking that considering the norms that government has set to pass the fitness test of vehicles, right? So can you give us a light what would be the impact on rural truck driver whose cost of adhering this policy might be high? Moreover, it could impact the overall supply chain of the country.
No, I have not understood your question. You are asking that fitness test is done and what will be the impact on the supply chain? What exactly is your question?
My question is, what would be the impact of rural truck driver who are having a truck?
Okay. I understood. You are talking about the human point of view, or the pure people who are actually owning the trucks or old trucks. They will be actually impacted because of this. Whether I have understood correctly the question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I agree with you. This is one of the thing which was discussed, and that was the main reason why government was delaying all the policy, because of that reason only. Because in India, you see many people are directly or indirectly getting employment because of trucks and those type of buses and all. Yes, there will be some problem, but if you see holistically, the from point of view of there are certain things which are not quantified. This is actually politically discussed that employment of poor people will be getting impacted and all, but nobody discusses why cancer is coming so high. Nobody is discussing the road accidents are 50,000 per year in India, which is number one in the world. So these things are actually nobody is discussing politically, so people are not aware, which is causing a bigger damage to the whole system. Parking, everywhere all across India, parking is a problem. So if you see technically or very scientifically, then these damages are much more than that damage. Yes, it is a problem for people who are having more than 15-year trucks, because they will be losing, they are forced to purchase new vehicles. yes, that problem is there, but just imagine that that person who is driving a defective truck on highway, you are going in front of that truck with a very good Mercedes car, then your life is in danger. So consider from that point of view that, it is ultimately life and death situation. Pollution is something which is a hidden danger for the whole society. Many people are getting impacted, cancer, lungs problem, this, that, so many problems are coming. You are from Delhi, you know how much it has impacted Delhi. So all these things are not actually discussed properly because people see this as a smaller problem, but it is a bigger problem. So if you compare these two problems, then I will say pollution and safety is much bigger problem as compared to that problem. And actually, nobody is actually damaging a new vehicle. It is a 20-year vehicle or 15-year vehicle, and yes, actually, if you see, the life of vehicle is also defined by OEMs is around 10 to 15 years. So after that, it is not allowed. Otherwise, if like in India, it is happening, people continue to run for 20 years, 30 years, 25 years with a lot of defects and all. If passengers are traveling on bus on highway, then their life is in danger. Similarly, if something is going in trucks, which is very important for some industry from business point of view, if it gets broken in between, then even the business impacts are there, which nobody is actually calculating the damage to the whole industry. Suppose petrol is going on a truck from one place to another, and it is a very old truck of 20, 15-year old truck, and it damages, some breakdown has happened. Then you can imagine it is a hazardous material, and if breakdown has happened. So, and the possibility of breakdown is more in 15 to 20-year vehicle as compared to new vehicles. So considering all this thing, it is logical and it is very important to implement this policy all across the world. It is happening. We cannot be, totally remaining empathetic to all these people because of, that they will get hurted or they will get, because ultimately you have to take decision one day. And from that point of view, I personally feel it is logical. But yes, on the other side, I agree some minor problem will happen on that side also. I agree with you.
Thank you, sir.
Do we have any other question?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, do you think government subsidies to these types of cases, or if one is purchasing any new vehicle after 15 years, whether it's truck or any other vehicle in the city also, can help this out?
So already they're giving, no? I told that 5% price discount by auto OEMs.
So,
There
sir,
are
is it
several
okay or it should
subsidies
be
in the
increased?
sense. Hello?
Sir, is the number which you told, so as per you, is the number okay or the government should increase?
See, I will tell you one thing, that if you go in market and if you sell your any vehicle which is just a new vehicle you purchased today and tomorrow you sell, you will get a 30% decrease in price. So this is the situation in open market as of today. If you go to suppose 3-year-old vehicle, 5-year-old vehicle, drastically the vehicle price will go 50% down. And if you go to 10-year-old vehicle, then hardly any value is left. Nobody will be there to purchase that vehicle. So as of today, second-hand market, if you are aware, the price after 8 to 10 years is hardly anything. So that way, if they're giving 4 to 6%, it is extra, in my opinion. So it is an advantage. Otherwise, if you're having a 20-year vehicle or 15-year vehicle, you just see that. You go in market, how many people will be ready to purchase that vehicle? Hardly anybody. You also see from your point of view, if you are going to purchase a second-hand vehicle, somebody is giving 15-year or 20-year vehicle, old vehicle, whether you will purchase that vehicle. It will be hardly 30, 40, 50,000. In that range, it will be there, 60,000. 1 lakh rupees, if you are having, then you can get a very good second-hand vehicle. So that way, if you see anything coming out of this scrapping 40, 50,000 or 60,000, it is a good enough amount. I don't think anything further can be done. Anyway, someday you have to scrap a vehicle. It is happening through a formal system with a proper way. So I think it is better. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do we have any other question? Okay, so I wanted to ask one thing, like you said about that through this scrappage, aluminum, copper, and steel will be released, no?
Yes.
So this can be used again by automobile companies to use it for their further production.
Yes, yes, it can be. See, recycling is a concept in which you can extract the basic things like copper, steel, and many other things from the old vehicle, and it can be used. And it is already done in many other places. As of today, also it is done, but the numbers are less, so it can be done directly.
So that
But
is
there
why
is
you
a
are
process
saying.
involved. It is not so easy. You have to segregate it, and if there is some ingredients which are not useful, so you have to clean, filter, and so many things happens before recycling. So there is a cost involved, manpower involved, a process, machines involved. So many things are involved, but it can be done.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking about. Like if OEM can go for this together, tying up with the scrappage and having a kind of alliance where they can reduce substantially cost, and that will be a
Correct.
win-win
If you see my
situation for both.
slide, I have put 30 to 40% the cost decrease is expected because of all these things.
Absolutely. So, yes. Okay, thank you so much for sharing your time and your valuable inputs. I hope students have learned a lot, and it was learning for me also about you shared about what kind of damage was there and now how it can be repaired. We have read a lot in the newspaper regarding the cost factor from BS4 to BS6. Firms have raised it n number of times. But I believe, and further, you're talking about 4 to 6% discount to be given for the new vehicle. So these are challenges for automobile segment, I believe, majorly for them. Isn't it?
Yeah, it is, as I told, 4 to 6% discount. Some people who are keeping the extra margins, they have given directly. But over the time, when they will get the raw material and other things, they will realize that, 4 to 6%, even they can increase it further. The understanding will take its own time.
Absolutely.
So I'm very positive on this. It will definitely, discounts will be more. And the best part of it is the pollution will decrease, and safety of the people will be better, and many other things. Actually, we are not talking about it, like parking problem is there all across India. That will actually will reduce.
True.
And if you see, a lot of business will happen. It is not only the scrappage center, but when person is actually extracting aluminum, copper, and all these things, there will be separate business owners who will be doing this. So just imagine the direct and indirect manpower which will be getting benefited because of this. A lot of even in your education system, you have to introduce some of the courses related to this. So everywhere, all across the activity, economic activity will improve like anything, in my opinion.
We'll take input from you regarding this for like how should we incorporate this in our curriculum,
Okay.
which can prepare these students to be more easy to transit from college to industries in the automobile segment. I believe there's a huge potential in the market for this segment.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is a huge potential. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Once again, I want to thank you from bottom of my heart for sharing your valuable time and giving such kind of input to our students. We would look for many more sessions from your end. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks. And the best part I like is the questions from the student.
Yes.
It was a pleasant surprise, and students are very bright, and I really like it because they have seen it, they have understood it, and then they are asking the question. And this is I think I am very much satisfied with the questions which they asked.
Thank you so much.
I am very much delighted that the students are so good that they have understood so fast, and they're also trying to start some startup or something like that. And thanks, Neelam, for inviting. It was a good, very good experience of interacting with students. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And thanks to all of you. Thanks to all students also for being so participative. Okay, thank you so much. Take care. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Bye.